All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, always powered by coffee each and every time. Not sponsored by Waffle House, but I kind of wish they would. As I've got under here, Psycho's Platters, the 2023 edition, because this is the first live stream of 2023 for sure. So, even though I know there's nobody out here yet, let me know if the connection seems to be better because what I decided to do, yes, I'm not over in my kitchen here. I decided to go and do it in my living room. I said did it in the living room. Anywho, so I ended up getting a 25-foot Ethernet cable, and I've got it hooked to the good old laptop, and I got it hooked over to Mr. Internet modem. Okay, so hopefully you guys are seeing me a lot better, and so forth and so forth. So I'm not entirely sure, of course, what's going on out there in the VC 2023. You know what to say about 2023, gentlemen, is that I hope it's kind. I really want a kind 2023. Yeah, you know what, guys? I love this here. All right. Good to see you, Adam, of course, and Mick, and then Nick. Yeah, you know what? I couldn't take it anymore. I shaved it off yesterday, but you know what? I may grow it back again because even though currently right now it is hovering around 50 for a high, and I looked at the 7-day forecast and noticed that there ain't any S word in the forecast. So hopefully that'll be all right. See some of the gang here. We got Tyler and Nick and Mick and Adam. Oh my, Tires and Dave up there. How did I miss yours there, Dave? Yeah, oh good, thank you. Because like I said, all right, I went off and got a 25-foot Ethernet cable. That's why I'm not in my normal location. And let me see if I can turn this so you guys don't get blinded by the damn, by the ceiling fan light. Guess I didn't think about that, huh? That's okay, I guess. But needless to say, I decided to go off and, behind me here, I had, you know what? Do you mind if I show you what's on my wall here for 2 seconds? I don't know if you guys ever got to see this completely. Okay, so I'm going to be a little weird. Let me see if I can untether myself in the electrical department. I'm going to show with me here. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I just kind of have figured what the hell, right? So we start off with, I found it last night, a signed mimeograph picture of Coco Beware, the wrestler, when I met him in the 90s, followed by you've got some Elvis's guitar player, James Burton. Continued prayers out to James Burton. He has been hospitalized a lot in the last few months, so it's touch and go. Then see here. Then I happen to have a couple signed, a signed photo from 3 of the original members of Heart, Roger Fisher, Michael DeRozier, and Steve Fossen. I would love to meet Howard, Lisa, and the Wilson sisters to get that eventually signed. A beautiful picture of Nita Strauss, courtesy of my buddy who went to go see Nita. That picture was shortly before she left Alice Cooper. Here's some more wrestling ones. We've got King Booker, Booker T, Mr. 5-time champ, and of course one of my favorites, Jake the Snake Roberts. Down here we happen to have $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. That's signed. The Monkey's Greatest Hits cover slick was a VCLT. I feel very stupid. I can't remember who sent me that, but that was a couple of years ago. The Stone Temple Pilots Cheap Trick Supercharged 97 was a West Coast concert photo, or excuse me, concert poster. I think it was only done in Washington, Oregon, and California. This was around 1996, 97, and it is signed by all 4 original members of Cheap Trick. I have a goofy little photograph. It's kind of bent up there from 1923. If anybody is from Wisconsin, Williams Bay, Wisconsin, Yerkes Observatory, which up until the Hubble telescope was invented, that was the largest telescope in the world, actually, was at Yerkes Observatory in Williams Bay, Wisconsin. And I know you can't see the photograph very well, but you've got Albert Einstein in the center of the shot, and 2 people away, you have Madame Curie. So go figure, right? All right, everybody still here? Okay. So then here we got John Fogerty signed Sweet Hitchhiker sheet music. I have a band signed mini poster I won from the record company for Testament. That one's pretty damn cool. This one here, John Anderson of Yes for the 1,000 Hands tour from 2019. I know, look at that Squirrely Q autograph. He signs that way. I got the CD and it's signed the same way. Sammy Hagar, I won that little mini poster from Roadrunner Records in a contest. That's signed by him. You've got a autographed picture of Peter Criss from, oh yes, one of the Fearsome Foursome. That right there with the Spare Menu from 1971. If you went to the International in Las Vegas, you would have had that at your table. Next here in the corner, we've got a complete band signed Blackstone Cherry. If I remember correctly, one of the members, unfortunately, is no longer in that lineup anymore. And so I have the pleasure of having that and a signed CD. Next up here, we've got a signed Nectar. That's right, from 2020 in March. It was one of the last concerts I saw for 2.5 years. You know what? Nectar is going back out again, guys. 50th anniversary, Remember the Future tour. I highly suggest that you go catch them. They will be in Illinois and New York and Massachusetts coming soon. Right next to it is I won this in a contest. The album cover was done by Ionis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it is completely signed by Uriah Heep. That was one of their album covers. And unfortunately, you know, Trevor Boulder, he's passed away. He's on this poster along with one other one that I cannot remember exactly. Right next to that there, of course, we got Pete Best's autograph on a nice 1961 Beatles photo. I got to have Svengoolie. This is the only time I ever met Svengoolie and got him to sign that 8x10. We'll be talking about Svengoolie in a little while here, something really current. Right next to it, if you ever watched Chicago television, Ray Rayner was one of the best morning show hosts for kids ever, and I had the pleasure of meeting him in the mid-'90s. Right next to that, if you watch Retro TV, Harvey's Festival of Fear, I got that through the mail too. The Spider-Man photo actually was a drawing, and I apologize, I can't remember who drew it, but he was one of the artists on Spider-Man in the late 90s, early O's. A Kansas concert poster that I didn't get to go see that, I think, due to it was canceled. Signed Cowsills from 4 of the 6 living members. Go get that new Cowsill CD, Rhythm of the World. I've heard excellent stuff off of that. And lastly, Uriah Heep's Celebration album, the poster for that, signed also by Ionis in 2010. So let's make sure I don't trip myself here. I know, right? So that, let's see, what else here? You want to see my setup here? It's not much. It's really not much. But so let's see. Well, we've got more albums and books and such, okay? I'm going through a lot of these and paring down. Here's my setup, okay, from what we got here. I got a Technics 5-disc with an Onkyo receiver, which I picked up at the, oh boy, we'll talk about Siren Records and McHenry in a minute here. Something happened over New Year's that's not good for them. We have a JVC turntable, okay. Let's see here. Does it show me the model number right off the bat? No. I've got bunches of vinyl. I got stuff all over the place, guys. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the speakers, but they're wooden enough as is. So there you go. You got to see some of this stuff. And where I'm putting this currently is another full of albums. I've been moving stuff around. What can I say? So, forgive me. Let me play catch up here with everybody because I know, like I said, I know people have been asking about some of this. So it's pretty bare bones. And the reason why it is currently is because I'm not sure when I'm moving, but I am planning on moving. That is my intention. I really don't want to add more stuff to it here. So let's see. Okay, we got and Walrus is here, and Zeb, that's right. And I'm going to tell you something about Nectar, Zeb. I actually contacted the venue that had Nectar March 8th, 2020. Okay, in the state of Arkansas, they shut the shit all down March 12th. I remember that day like it was yesterday. You know how some people remember 9/11, some people remember December 7th. March 12th is always going to be in my psyche because that's when the hell all the shit went down in Arkansas. We were supposed to have later that month Arlo three, and both of them are yeah, I saw that for 2 seconds. That was not good. So much for attach 25-foot cord to but I mean, if you guys are seeing this really good, that's great. I still think this is more of an improvement than it was previously. Let's see here. Zeb, Mr. Pantazzi. Amazing stuff. And I'll tell you something. I've got a lot more that are not posters. Maybe we'll do a special episode or two this year about all the signed albums and CDs that I have acquired either personally or very cheaply for that matter. We would like to do that. I think that would be fun. Maybe I even can show some old stories from Psycho's photo album of some of the people I did get to meet, right? Right. So, excuse me. Oh, hang on here. Let me go and reattach this. Is everybody seeing this decent? I know I'm sounding really stupid here, but like I said, this is the first time that I have a Ethernet cable to this thing. Hopefully it's better. Okay. I'm gonna. You know what? We're also gonna do another test here. I am going to drop an invite. Now I'm not gonna have to click on here. But we're going to put one up here and see what happens. We'll do that. Let's see here. Mid-quality, some lagging once in a while. Well, that definitely maybe sounds better than what I also went off and deleted some files and stuff like that to try to speed things up a little bit. Guys, you know what? It probably is because this laptop is 5+ years old. Like I said, hopefully in the spring, I'll end up having a better laptop. And then, that one's strictly for gaming. So I'm assuming, if it can game, no problem, because my son says it's no problem. He's just upgrading. So if it can game, no problem, it should be able to stream, no problem, right? At least you'd like to think that. Santa, where's your beard? He says, I couldn't take it anymore. I finally just went off like on the 2nd of January and got rid of it. So let's see here. I know I maybe showed one or two of these objects before, but I do happen to have some recent finds. I still was really surprised about. Let's see here. There. I'm trying here so that you guys don't get blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. I found this in a pile of DVDs over. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of DVDs. And this out of print monkeys, our favorite episodes. It's 4 episodes, and each monkey gets to pick one. Hey, you know what? Continued prayers to you, sir. I miss you. I miss also Illinois visits. I got to tell you something, guys. I feel real bad, and I'll explain why. Okay, not that any of you guys really need to hear this or care to hear it, but just bear with me. So my mom, okay, she's moving next week. In fact, it's 8 days from now. She'll be moving from McHenry to Crystal Lake, Illinois, if anybody knows northwest suburbs over there. Crystal Lake is where I grew up. I grew up all from 71 to 80. That's where I grew up, okay, in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And so she actually gets to move about a block away from my grandma Gert's house, okay? And the thing is that I had about total of 3 weeks warning. I wanted to help her move, but I just, it's not financially viable. It's one thing if she was an hour or two away. Hey, where's a hoe? Where? Shanny Annie, ladies and gentlemen. Shanny. But I'm not going to be able to do it. I just don't have the funds. So I'm praying that, that everything goes well this time around, because I was there the last time that she needed to be moved. That was a project, but it needed to be done. You know what I'm saying? So I think she's personally going to be happier where she's moving to, and I think she'll be saving some money too, because rent is ridiculous. Well, rent is ridiculous everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. But when you're spending roughly almost $1,100 on a 1-bedroom apartment in Northwest Illinois, and you're on Social Security, that hurts, okay? So she deserves better, and I'm not saying that because she's my mom, but she deserves better. That's all I'm saying about it. So hopefully that'll go well. So let's see, what else was I going to tell you? So I showed you the Onkyo preamp, the tuner that I picked up at Siren Records. You're right, the rent's too damn high. It's ridiculous. I pay $775 here, but that's because I'm in Northwest Arkansas. But the rent's jacked up in the last since COVID, since the COVID bullshit started. That at that time in 20, it just went. They figured good excuse to get everybody nailed. So Siren Records in McHenry, Illinois, is where I got the receiver from. If I'm getting it wrong, but New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, okay? A great place for records in McHenry, Illinois, just slightly off of downtown by about a couple blocks. They had a plumbing issue. 18 hours it poured from the ceiling. I'm going, oh my God, because they had, this place, they had a lot of stuff in a small amount of space, if you get my drift. But Siren Records was a cool store, and so much damage. Oh my God. And they think they're going to get it back up and running by the end of January. And I'm going, I hope so. But I'll tell you this. Siren Records has only been around a couple years, okay? I want to say 4 to 5 years, and they did not need this happen. Also, some company called Bric-a-Brac Records in Avondale, which I think is a suburb of Chicago, they too also got screwed up with major damage due to the pipes freezing up there. It was really rotten up around New Year's Eve. So 2 damaged record stores. And with the one in Avondale, that one was not only records, but vintage toys. I never got to go to Bric-a-Brac. I didn't even know it existed till I saw the article. They don't know if Bric-a-Brac is going to get back up and running again. Like I said, Siren wants to, but I have to tell you, some of the coolest things that I found from Siren Records, They had a wall of 45s. I'm not kidding you. And I got to find so many things out. Richie Cunningham's house is empty in Wisconsin, not far from Illinois. Hey, Tom. So, I mean, that all that damage happened to this record store. Okay. I mean, we're talking about they had every square inch in that store had stuff, albums, 45s, reel to reels, 8 tracks. So in the front of the store, then there was this very small, you could walk to the back. They even had a couple pinball machines. No, not to play with. They just bought them for some reason. So they were trying to work on that. But then there's this other room that had, and I don't know if that room got affected. I'll feel bad if that room got affected too. But we're talking vintage stereo equipment. I saw stuff back to the 60s, mostly 60s to 80s. The Denon that I picked up, that tuner was mid to late 80s. And even though the price tag said 60, I only ended up paying 50 because I was buying all those other 45s. One of the coolest things I found in that wall, if I ever find it, I'll bring it out and I'll explain the story a little again. I found Ted Nugent's first 45 in 1965 when he was 15 years old. How about that? Because it was pressed locally, Chicagoland area. Anybody here that grew up in Chicago in the 60s, there used to be a kiddie show called Mulqueen Go-Go, which the New Colony Six performed on that kiddie show, and I think another band or two did too. But Ted Nugent, I don't know if he was in the house band for Mulqueen. There's very few tapes survive. I want to say 2 episodes. That's it. And but he's on that 45, and it's just like to find that thing. And I didn't even know it. I get 45s because the labels look interesting, or the groups or the song titles, right? And so finding that along with Beatles, the EP from 65, the second EP on Capitol. Yeah, I found all that in the wall. And you know what? I was just like, I get a stack about maybe this big, slip him to 20. He was good with that. He didn't even bother anymore to look. But I found a lot of Chicago area stuff. He had a lot of polka, though, too. Oh, God, all the polka 45s. You know, I mean, but it is Chicagoland, okay? I mean, like, okay, outside, I don't know if this is still true, but I found out in the early 80s that Chicago had the biggest concentration of Polish people outside of Poland, with like 800,000 at that time, 800,000. But that's a long time back. So yeah, so Siren Records, hopefully you guys get all fixed up. I just feel bad, you know, I feel bad for anybody. Like, what was it? One of my friends in Syracuse, New York, Music and More Records, you know, a couple years back when the floods hit that area in New York, her place got screwed for a while. I'm just like, you just never know. You never know what's going to happen, right? You can't control natural disasters, and this here is a natural disaster. So let's see. Getting into Elvis recently. What album, studio, live, or compilation should I start with? That's a good question. That honestly is a really good question. If you people will permit me to go get something behind me here, I want to show Tom a very cool thing that I purchased. And I even reviewed it on my channel. Oh, where the hell is? Oh, there it is. For a second, I'm like, I know it's got to be here. Okay, so Elvis was a great artist. He was. You know what, Zeb, you are about in the wheelhouse. I was going to say at least the 50s stuff. Okay. So 54 to 60, but he did have some cool tunes, into 62. Saying that, the mid 60s were, but then you start going into the late 60s, where he recorded in the Memphis and stuff like that. Okay. So you're getting that's what I call a second or third wind, if you will. But I know he's like, Psycho, and show us. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Happy New Year too. So this is reasonably priced, Tom. Okay. This here, Elvis Presley, A Boy from Tupelo. This is RCA Sony Legacy. Okay. 3 CDs on this thing. Here's the front. Here's the back. Now it's the complete 1953 to 55 recordings. In other words, all the Sun stuff, okay, and the RCA released material of Sun stuff. So in other words, when the transfer of the vaults went to RCA, they had Sun era material. Potluck's a good example. They used some from there. Elvis Legendary Performer Volume 1, at least in 74, used some of that stuff. But just to give you an idea, though, okay, so your first disc here, you get the Memphis Recording Service acetates, okay? So you got 4 songs of that. I'm not going to go through everything, okay? Then you got your Sun Masters, which is tracks 5 all the way to 23. All right. And then after that, what I spoke about, the RCA masters, and then you've got that for the remaining tracks, being a total of 27 tracks on disc 1. Now, I'm sorry, okay. I'm a big fan of alternate takes and stuff like that, but to me, I don't want a lot of them, okay? I would like any takes, and this goes for any artist, not just Elvis. If it's radically different, like either at the beginning of the genesis of the writing of the song or towards the end, if it's radically different from the released version, then yeah, let's hear it, because then we get the artist in progress thing. Get it? Okay. But that's what disc 2 is all of these either, different takes, incomplete takes. And then disc 3 is a little extra fun. You've got live and radio performances. And you have 32 total tracks on that. And one was previously unreleased when this set came out. They found a radio broadcast song, and they cleaned it up and stuck it on here. So Elvis Presley, Boy from Tupelo, 53 to 55. If I remember correctly, I want to say I don't think I paid more than 40 for this. You end up, I mean, here's where they're all housed in is the CD, and then you got a nice book, okay, that tries to go into a chronological thingamajig. All right, so I recommend it. Especially if you're starting to collect this stuff. But yes, there is so much good product out there. But 50s era is my favorite. I know that RCA put out box sets of 50s, 60s, 70s. More bang for the buck for you, okay? Enough of that, I guess. Yes. And you know what? I'll tell you something. Shortly before Elvis died, he said he had a little inspiration. He wanted to do another album of gospel. And I think that would have been really cool for 1978, 78, 79. Tim says, Davey, I'm not sure. The first VC video I saw before I think started making videos was Pootsie. I didn't see any of Miko's until around a year after I started making videos. Oh, yeah, I apologize. You did kind of put a comment in there, didn't you? I was going to get to you. Here was the original question. But as far as from the VC is concerned, God knows, Davey. I just remember who got me turned on to doing videos, not live streams, but video videos, was a channel by the name of Crate Junkies. Crate Junkies is an awesome channel. I don't know whatever happened to him. I remember tripping on DJ Trish early on, and then it just kind of blossomed. And then I found people like Ed from King's Court, Mean Mr. Mayo, Joe over there, just left and then tripped on Rachel's and stuff. I've been most attracted to his early stuff, Sun Pre-Army RCA, and his comeback material. I said it's not limited edition or nothing. For the buck opinion. Like I said, if it was me though, I wouldn't have put that second disc in, because to me that's just a waste of space. And it would have been maybe the cost would have been a little cheaper, and it would have been a 2-disc, and everybody would have been okay. That's livable. But they keep putting out more stuff. 50th anniversary of Elvis's Aloha from Hawaii will be this year. I heard weird rumors about that. There's a possibility that they're going to put it on the big screen. I kind of hope so, because I would love to go see it. I remember seeing that, and I really remember it. I saw it upstairs in my mom's, my mom's house. The babysitter was there, and I watched as that was going on. Or should I say, I think it was recorded in advance, right? And then, so what I'm saying is the first showing, the first airing of Aloha in Hawaii. I remember seeing that brand new back in the day. I liked Elvis since the mid 70s. That's when I started collecting. So let's see. Hang on a second. And I'll drop this up here. I hope everybody's doing good. I really do. Unfortunately, I did not want to call in from work today, but I did. I feel worlds better now. But have you ever had so much pain that you felt sick? That's what I had today. And it's my stupid knee. I need to lose the damn weight, get the total knee replacement, and then, maybe Psycho will be a little more, I'm going mobile. All right. Want to see some finds? I didn't find very much last week, but these are actually, except for the signed book I'll show you in a minute, and a gift that my bestie in Arkansas, Donna Joe Cat Lady, gave me. But I found, so I went to this one antique mall, and I showed some CDs before in my last stream. And I went back to the well again, but more people are finding out about this room. And I'm going, uh-oh. So I went in the other direction from where the other guy was. I'm not kidding you. He filled up half a shopping cart full of CDs and CD cases. We're talking about like the really good ones, the durable ones, like DJ quality. They were selling them at $10 a piece, and they were like attaché case size and could do. But so I ended up finding, and once again, these were $3.33 a piece because I bought 3. So I didn't end up getting from 2012 the RAM Deluxe Edition. That's right. This is how it looks. You got your booklet here. You got both CDs, nice and minty, by the way. For $3 I picked this up. I just didn't want to spend, what was it, $15 back then? So yeah, but then as an added bonus, I had this CD, and somehow it got damaged. So this next thing I'll show you is from 1997, May of 97 to be precise. We're still in the Paul McCartney vein, okay? And maybe some of you people might remember this. I was one of those ones in the mid to late 90s. I went to Best Buy when Best Buy was good, when Best Buy had like these exclusive CDs. You know what I'm talking about, especially Beatle-related stuff. So I bought Paul McCartney's Flaming Pie. in 97. All right. Now, with the exception of Run Devil Run, which was an excellent album, he needs to do a second album like that, at least in my opinion. Not that Paul's going to fucking listen to me. But before that, Tug of War was the last great McCartney album he ever did in 82, okay? So you're talking 15 years difference. So when you went to the Best Buy, and they only made 3,000 of these, and if you listen to it, you'll see why. But if you bought the Flaming Pie, you got episode 5 of Oobu Joobu. Oobu Joobu. Here's the front. Here's the back. And he made 21 radio episodes from what I'm told, okay? And then the show stopped. This is episode 5. So for you people, you probably could just discog this and look, but you end up with Oobu Joobu main theme, Looking for Changes, Peace in the Neighborhood, Wildlife, Mother Nature's Son, which that's a live track, but I can't remember from what tour, Off the Ground, Cow, How Many People, and We All Stand Together, which if I remember correctly, We All Stand Together is it the Rupert song? Or there was a frog song he did, didn't he, or something? Others from it. So this was in it. If you went and purchased this Best Buy in May of 1997. So after that, I'm digging through and I found a signed CD. No, not of Paul. I wish. That'd be great. I only have the Pete Best autograph for Beatles stuff. But I ended up digging through, and I love The Lovin' Spoonful. Now, everybody knows that the Monkees is my favorite band, okay, because they did what I call good time music. Well, The Lovin' Spoonful also did, in my opinion, good time music. 1965 to 1969, that's what you're looking at. Originally on Elektra Records, but then go to Kama Sutra for their main thing of the run. But I ended up finding this CD came out in 97. So I know that The Lovin' Spoonful did a handful of appearances down here in the area, but this one here is initially signed by Jerry Yester and signed by Joe Butler, who would be the drummer, if I remember correctly, for The Spoonful. So to find a signed Lovin' Spoonful. Now I have a complete band signed album from 1966. Yeah, I want to say late 66, early 67. I'll have to bring that out someday. Hums of the Lovin' Spoonful, I think is what it was. But that one is completely band signed back in the day. And well, Zal's been gone for a while. So, okay, next. This was a steal, in my opinion. I got this on New Year's Day after I went off and had coffee talk with the youngest daughter, who she's starting to show now. She is due in late March with my. This will be totally within my family, my 9th grandkid. I will officially have enough for a baseball team. Oh my God. So after we got done yapping, I was looking and there was still, okay, so if you go to Barnes & Noble, especially the last few years, when you went to Black Friday, they had signed editions, okay, of books. And believe it or not, I could not believe that they had this at 50% off, signed edition. There was 2 copies. I took a look at the other one. They both had slightly different signatures, so it wasn't an auto pen. This will be my 2nd autograph from this gentleman. Biblical from Rob Halford. That's right. Got to get my priest on, because if you got another thing coming. Anyways, I'm happy to have this in the collection. I have the other signed Rob Halford I've got is his Christmas album on vinyl, which is actually a decent Christmas album that I suggest. that you go look into getting. I think the album is called Celestial, if I remember correctly. And so we got that. And then, oh boy, Donna Joe Cat Lady, my bestie here in Northwest Arkansas. There's a comedian by the name of Brad Goss. Okay. And so when I show you the cover of this, that's right, my big black hawk. Mm-hmm. All the girls love my big black hawk. That's all I'm going to show you on that. You'll have to get the rest yourself. Brad Goss, hilarious. Anyways, as you 14 people there are going, he's nuts. I am nuts. Let me tell you a story. Another story. I'm full of damn stories. So I showed you earlier on the wall, if you guys, whoever was here early enough to see it, a signed photo of Svengoolie. Okay. Svengoolie, when I was 11 years old, June 1979, Svengoolie, or at that time, son of Svengoolie, went on the air on Channel 32, WFLD TV, Chicago. And so I was 11, and I barely remembered the original Svengoolie, who was on from 70 to 73. Completely different looks, delivery, things like that, but still fun. So he gets canceled in January of 86 because 32 turns into a Fox station. Rupert Murdoch wants all of the stations to have the same late night. That was about it. That's the only reason why Sven got canceled, was because of that. So he ends up off the airwaves for 8 years. And then in 94, from 94 on, he's been on Channel 26, The U in Chicago, and of course, MeTV nationwide. So if you do watch that show, and by the way, this Saturday night will be the 1963 with Vincent Price and Peter Lorre, 2.5-hour expanded broadcast. It's going to be fun. I like looking at it. First of all, Vincent Price is one of the masters of horror, along with Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, all those people. You know what I'm saying. But Vincent Price, I always have loved his acting work. So I went and auditioned for the Spawn of Svengoolie. That's right. There's a clear what Spawn of Svengoolie. I honestly have no. I heard they're looking for, but they're looking for a handful. And like I said, I turned in my audition video to MeTV, so it's in MeTV's hands. They've been showing over the last couple weeks little bits of clips of the people that have auditioned. So is Mighty Psycho maybe going to show up for 2 seconds in a commercial break in the next couple of weeks on Svengoolie? It's a possibility. I'm not guaranteeing it, networks are networks, but I would love to, even on a part-time basis, be loosely involved with Svengoolie. That would be almost a dream, really. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check him out on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on MeTV. I get it over the air. Maybe your cable. I thought I heard that some of the dish areas don't get MeTV anymore. Some agreement ran out. So, but yeah. So I mean, who knows? You might see Mighty Psycho for 2 seconds in the next few weeks on there. I don't know. So let's see. I got too busy and kind of wasn't quite feeling good. And I've been on it. I've had it. How do I explain this? Psycho gets depressed a lot. I don't know how many people out there, the 16 I'm seeing right now, if you guys feel the same way at times. Okay, the holidays really do it in for me. I don't know if it's still because chess being gone, for 4 years, it's going to be on the 28th. If that's it, or it's just has Psycho turned slightly cynical. I don't know. The holidays just really get to me. I do want to, maybe before the month is out, I do want to talk about, this is the new gold mine, by the way. Ramones are on the cover. Hey, let's go. But I talked mostly about who passed away in 2022. The last people that I remember, December 31st, Anita Pointer from the Pointer Sisters, she passed away. I think I mentioned that Rick Anderson from the Tubes, I know, died after Christmas. And Vivienne Westwood, who was into punk and fashion and stuff like that, she passed away also. And like I said, continue prayers to James Burton, because he's been hospitalized in and out for the last couple months. I don't know. We hope he can get through all of this. So let me ask you guys out there, the people watching this, have you done the vinyl tag? Are you going to do the vinyl tag? 23, Rob Walker's thing. Are you going to do it? Some questions I may not have an answer for. I haven't done a vinyl tag yet, which is on me pretty much, but I think some of the questions back in previous tags I couldn't answer because I didn't have the show, but I'm going to try. I'll do a good old college try between now and the end of the month. I will post a vinyl tag. It'll be my first attempt, maybe my only attempt too. But I do have some things I don't think I've shown you guys, maybe, or whatever, and some recommendations and stuff, right? I mean, I think the vinyl tag can actually be really good to introduce to other people in the VC and new collectors and such like that. I believe in spreading the love. And as everybody's known, especially you lifelong, you guys have been with me for a couple of years live streaming, and some of you guys have been with me since day one when I started, which, by the way, February 10th will be my 12th year on YouTube. 12th. Oh, boy. And I still don't have 900 subs. I always joke about that. I'm really not sub-centric, I'll call it, as some other people in the VC are. But the only thing I think about is that I've been on here almost 12 years. And I'm very, very grateful to the 865 plus I have. But something tells me I should have had more than that by now. I don't know why. Probably because I can't do content on a consistent delivery schedule. The holidays are hard. Heart attacks spike and do suicides. It really is important to enjoy someone's company. That's right. That's absolutely right. I got to visit a couple of my kids between Christmas and New Year's. That was nice. My uncle did give me 3 Elvis albums this Christmas Eve. A Mono, Loving You. Oh, nice. Wonderful World of Christmas, and a K-Telecomp. I did not know Elvis did a excuse me. I did not. I mean, I knew about the Pickwick stuff through Pickwick, but I didn't know that that the Elvis estate, was it after Elvis died? For the love song one, let me know in the comments. So, but yeah, so I'm thinking about that. I know Dots and Loops has got that contest, the 101. Can you believe Rachel sat there in 101 questions? I'm like, I jokingly asked, so when did we get off the air? I was surprised. This, oh, Rachel. And yeah, I mean, like, okay, so I'm noticing, and it's not that bad though. It's not. This is an improvement. my feed here over previous. It really, really is. There's like, so far since I started this 50 minutes ago, there's only been 3 1-second buff, and then it stops and goes. So yeah, I mean, what do you think, guys? I think this is better. The only thing is, I wish I had more of a comfier chair. Okay. You know what though, Tom? I'm going to tell you something. I did have a lot, and I still have some original Elvis albums, but I kind of stopped getting that. Wooden Heart. Was Clam Bake on there? Dabba Clam Bake. Never rumba in the back seat of a car in Acapulco. God, he made some dumb songs. I mean, he made excellent, like, okay, a couple of my favorite early 60s Elvis. Not that anybody asked in the 17 people there. Baby, You're So Square, I Don't Care. I actually like that. I like his version. Buddy Holly did a version of that. Actually, it's on one of the later albums after he died. I didn't like, that's weird hearing that from him. But my favorite early 60s, Little Sister. I love that fucking song. That song does not get old for me. But here's the thing. The first time I ever heard that song, Ivor, it's because I actually have a 25-foot Ethernet cable attached from the laptop to the modem. That's why I had to move. I'm not in the kitchen. I'm here now in the living room. Like I said, I got to get a comfier chair though. But when I heard Little Sister the first time was actually Rockpile with Robert Plant at the concerts for Camp Lucia, and I saw the MTV song, the version. I'm like, oh, I love this. What the hell is this? And it was like Robert Plant and Rockpile cooked on that version. But I'm like, it took me about, and I knew a lot of Elvis's songs, but I didn't know every one of them. And I didn't know Elvis cut a version in 62. And I'm just like, I like this, damn it. He should have stayed in that vein. Oh, well. Let's see. I love the song I Want to Be Free off the Jailhouse Rock soundtrack. That's my favorite Elvis tune. I might have to go dig that up again because I don't recall that one. It was actually a lot of later material that was really good, which I never heard before. Kentucky Rain, Memories, I Just Can't Believe the Wonder Be, all good stuff. All real good stuff. You want to go early 70s? I'll tell you the song that cooks for me. I think it was 1970. Patch It Up. I love Patch It Up. Just the live version, of course, cooks better than the studio. But it's just like, I just love the way that song goes. And if I remember correctly, Patch It Up was written by Big Rabbit. And of course, my mom calls me. Well, she'll have to leave a message. I've talked to her twice already today, so I'm not feeling guilty. But yeah, so Patch It Up. So 70 stuff, Patch It Up, of course. I do love In the Ghetto, even if it's a little bit and the children cry, and Kentucky Rain and Suspicious Minds and Burning Love. I love all that stuff. I do. That's why I know the man is iconic. Whether you love him, hate him or not, the man had charisma and energy. And I still think, I swear to you, I still think that if Elvis would have went through with the firing of Colonel Parker in 1974, I think he might have still been alive, at least for a little while longer. It would have had to have been a combination of things, okay? But if Parker would have gone, because he didn't need Parker anymore. Parker served a purpose. Yes, Parker was a was a worker for Elvis in the 50s, early 60s. The movies, some of the movies were great, some were shit. Okay, and I'm like, I've watched every Elvis movie, I think at least once. Okay, to me it was like after GI Blues and Blue Hawaii. I mean, I watched Viva Las Vegas. I like that one. The rest of them I don't like. But that's not going to keep me if I find any mono copies of Speedway or Clambake. Because I know how much those things go for. I found, did I tell you guys that in 1 year's time collecting a couple of years back, I found three copies of mono Clambake. No, sorry, two mono Clambake. Had the bonus photo. Both monos had the bonus photo. And I should have grabbed them. I just didn't have the money. And the stereo one had the photo and the record looked decent. Yeah. So three times in a year did I come across a Clambake. He should have, yeah, exactly. Oh God, harem, scare him. Oh shit. You hit that right on the head. I think his mother yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine if Gladys lived at least a few more years? Seriously. Like even into the late 60s or early 70s, I mean, there's so much woulda, shoulda, coulda, I guess, right? But let's face it, if they could have found new management after getting rid of Parker in 74, if that new management would have went off and said, okay, Elvis, just had a private thing with him and Vernon in the room and say, okay, look, you've got too many yes men here. And I know some of them are your friends. Some of them are really just using you. Let's go one by one down the list. Who is crucial to you? Pick four people that you want in your entourage. 4, so that he still could have that comfortability and still the trust. He could have cut off a bunch of other people, maybe given him a severance and just say, thank you for your service, and then had his 4. I think that would have helped. Rehab was not a cool word in the mid 70s because all you had was Betty Ford. Nobody really knew how to do that stuff. Well, show not on dial-up, but guess what? This is better than what previously was. So until I get my son's gaming computer, take it or leave it. Oh my God! Could you Peter Grant knew how to manage. Peter Grant knew how to fucking manage. Could you imagine if he took Elvis on? That would have been like Elvis and Zeppelin, and Elvis actually liked Zeppelin, and Zeppelin were all Elvis fans. There would have been some copacetic symbiotic right there. That would have been mind-blowing in the mid-70s. Seriously. Oh, geez. I can't even begin to imagine on that. Hey, Mike. And Royce is in the house. That's right. Happy New Year to you too, sir. So your next show, Royce, what's the topic? Have you figured out the topic? This is gonna get you. I haven't even opened show this. Maybe the Spirit of Mason will pop up. As long as it's not Summer in Paradise by the Beach Boys. And by the way, I didn't spend $8.99 on this. It was more like $6.99. That's right. This shitty Beach Boys album killed a record label. This album in my hand killed a record label. And Psycho's got it. Why? Because I'm going to take a bullet for you people. I'll review this thing. Oh, am I going to review? As long as it's not this, Royce. We all have our laugh. That's right. That's right. That needs to be a book or a documentary. Mike Love, the record labor. You got it. I will listen to this. Now, I actually am talking about doing okay. So I still want to do I still have some new music that I'm talking about within the last 60 days. I have not had a chance to review yet. Okay. But I also have ones I'm going to call retro reviews. Okay. And retro review, this will be on there. This will be on the retro review. Mike Nesmith Live at the Troubadour. Would you believe that's almost 5 years ago that release? 5 years ago that Mike put that out. On what number is this chip? 7A. So we'll talk. Well, that'll be a retro review too. Probably, I don't know. We'll say in the next 4 to 6 weeks. We'll do both. I'll lose subs, aren't I? I'm going to lose subs when I do this. It needs to be a spoof series like the new Dahmer. Oh my God. Who do we get to narrate? Who would be the... You're damn right I love my Prefab 4. You're right, that's never going to change. My only regret, yes, my only regret was not getting to have 2 minutes at least meeting Mike Nesmith. I got a wave and a chuckle because of the T-shirt I was wearing in 2013. But I met all the other ones individually, and all of them came across as being really nice. And yeah, I'll always love the Monkees. They are what makes my heart happy. That's a good one. Oops. Yeah, Alec Baldwin, and he's only going to be able to narrate that in Prison Orange. By the way, Mike, sometime, I want to say between now and the end of the year, John Teller's new book, the Marx Brothers on Radio, should be out. I could have sworn I read something from Teller. So we'll have a new Marx Brothers book coming out very, very soon. Hello, John. How you doing? Happy New Year to yourself, too. Does anyone know who played the instruments on their albums? Are you talking about the Monkees? Because if you're talking about the Monkees, yes, we know about 90% of who played on that. And I can tell you that at least for the first 2 albums, so Monkees and More of the Monkees, is the Wrecking Crew. Okay, so whoever was in the Wrecking Crew for late 65 to late 66, they're on there. I'm going to get some coffee. Glenn Campbell does some guitar work on there too. And I actually have a signed 8x10 from Carol Kay, who she was on some Monkees material too. Leon Russell, he was on some Monkees material. Keith Allison. I think Keith Allison was on there before he was in Parver and the Raiders, but I could be wrong. But I mean, like, you've got Keith Allison, you got Jerry Yester, Modern Folk Quartet, Love and Spoonful. He was on some of the stuff. Neil Young, was on at least a track. I want to say Stephen Stills was on a track. Bruce Palmer from Buffalo Springfield on a track. So you get all different kinds of stuff. But yeah, those first two albums, and then after that, you know, I don't know. I think I'll always say this, that my two favorite Monkees albums are Headquarters and Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones. And Pisces is shade above Headquarters. That's always going to be my favorite album. I don't know. Oh wait, Vestine, Henry Vestine, right? Yeah. I think he is on one of the tracks. Oh God. Speaking of Monkees, I found this for $2.99. Sometime in the last 60 days, actually. The old school mid-90s Rhino. I showed some ones that I picked up earlier in the year with the Monkees trading cards. This one didn't have one, but this wasn't, because the other ones I had appeared to have been promo, like punch hole stamp promos. So maybe that's why I ended up. But I've got a few cool Monkees trading cards, courtesy of Rhino back then. Love my Canned Heat Monkees. Well, that's okay. Doesn't Canned Heat currently have 2 or 3 original members? I know Fido's still playing drums, right? Yeah, no kidding on that one, right? But I mean, I know you probably have seen this before, but oops, damn it. Here's and this is a good album too. It really is. It's just, it's you know, it's just not, it's not in the same vein. Now, God, I would love to find one in mono. Oh, if I could find one in mono. Oh, that's cool. I've got a couple of Canned Heats. I'm not yeah, I can't even God, the printing is so small on here for the tracks. But, you know, like the coolest ones off of here, Andy's Municipal Court. I love that song. We Were Made for Each Other, which was a Davey number. I have used that on a handful of mixtapes to girlfriends. And each time they told me they cried. Woo. Tapioca Tundra. Of course, Daydream Believer. Love Daydream Believer. I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. P.O. Box 9847. Valerie and Zor and Zam. What a way to close out the album with Zor and Zam. Love that stuff. And then, of course, there is bonus tracks. Alan, which was really goofy. Peter Tork singing about a pet alligator. I think that's kind of funny. I'm Gonna Try. That's a Davey number. A different alternate mix of P.O. Box 9847. Previously unissued early version of The Girl I Left Behind Me. And Peter doing Lady's Baby with I can't read that. But yes. So and then there actually is an error. I didn't realize this, and I'm going to have to start taking a look for it. But it's what's written Davy's picture. Okay, it was either a piece of poetry or a song lyric, right? So he liked it so much that he mailed a signed album to Edith. Edith tried to sue his ass. I'm going, what? And so they're actually, if you look on the back cover and you see an RE, you're going to see there's either left blank or there's something else in its place. So I didn't know anything about that until maybe a few weeks back. Let's see. So I talking to Sarasota Joe when I came in. I was just down in the neck of the woods. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. I used to have relatives in Florida, Tampa St. Pete, and one of my ex-girlfriends lived in Ocala for a while. I don't know if she still does. I haven't talked to her since 1986, but that is a long time ago. Let's see, what else do I got? This one here, CD single made in Holland, off of Paul McCartney's "Off the Ground," "Biker Like an Icon," which, if I remember correctly, I did not pay a lot for these. This was like maybe $1 or $2. Yeah, so it's a 4-track though. It's got a bunch of different things. But yeah, so "Biker Like an Icon." Double Styx CD, "Return to Paradise." I love Styx. Always loved Styx. I have more respect for the wooden nickel era. Okay, so you're 71 to 75, and Equinox. That to me is your prog rock Styx. Okay, even though you do see for Grand Illusion and a little bit more for Pieces of 8, there's still that semblance. But I'd say by Cornerstone on, you got a different Styx going here. But this one here from the mid 90s, unfortunately, John Panazzo just couldn't make it. He was gone by then. Todd Sucherman, of course, still the drummer for Styx, but it's everybody else from that classic lineup, including a couple new songs. Dear John, actually, which was written by Tom Law for John, is on here too, along with a bunch of live stuff from 97 on CMC International. Couldn't pass that up either. Yes, it is. I had a copy at one point. I don't know whatever happened to my copy of Hooker and Heat. I was at a place called McKay's today. Music, movie, books, and more. I wish we had a McKay's down here. Tell you that. Oh, look at you. Yes. That definitely was a great find. Hopefully you got it reasonably priced. Tom's Vinyl Shack, just sub to your channel and hit that bell, brother. That's right. That's what we want to do around here. Share the love in the VC, don't we? We've got to 5 CDs. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. That is a lot of Eric and Company. Let's see. I also like, what was it? Thor brought up metal on Rachel's podcast today. I like hard stuff, but I also like hair metal and a bunch of other things. It's my only weakness. No, it's not my only weakness. But let's see here. What did I find recently? How about Shotgun Messiah? On Relativity, Shotgun Messiah. Here's another one that just got reissued, actually. I want to say from Rock Candy Records not too long back, but this is a record club issue on DGC, Little Caesar. Yeah, this album cooks. I remember that. Oh, here we go. I found this. I've been cleaning up here a little bit, going through boxes. And I think I ended up getting this about between 2 and 3 years ago, and I'm glad I did. This is, of course, a reissue on CD because this might be original. I take that back. I don't know. Black Oak, Arkansas's The Black Attack is back. This album cooks. Okay, this one is from 1986, signed by Jim Dandy and Ricky Lee Reynolds, rest in peace. This album should have made it. I'm not kidding you. There was a lot of good stuff on here. But I got it signed. I sent to him in Tennessee, excuse me. And of course, this will make you laugh. The last track on here on the 10 tracks, I Want a Woman with Big Titties. That's right. You heard me. But yeah, a couple people are passed away from this CD. but an excellent album if you can find it. 71 in Knoxville today. That's nice. That was about what it was like yesterday for us. It was about 55 today here. By the time I got back home, it was 63 on our plateau. There's a great Scrabble word, plateau. Well, see, look at you. Royce is just ding, 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 ding. And like I said, guys, please like and subscribe here in the Peanut Gallery, and to myself too, please and thank you. That's how this works around here. But yeah, I would have maybe made a broadcast sooner than today, but my mind isn't in the right place, guys. You know what I'm saying? That, and there was some really cool broadcasts. Last night I watched, this is Ski Lodge, you know, Stephen Schnee and Company. I like that. Oh, here's why I found my copy of this, which of course, what number is this chip? 7A went off and released the great double album, Dolenz Jones, Boyce and Hart. This is the second part, Concert in Japan from Verace Sandblad. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I probably butchered the shit out of that. But this was the original issue of that on CD. 1981, it came out on Capitol in Japan. I would love to have an original vinyl press of that. Whenever my mind isn't in the right place, I try to retrace it by looking at the last place I had it. Sometimes that's even difficult for me too. This one here, I managed to pick up dirt cheap. Less than 50,000 copies sold of this. This is actually a promo copy of Styx and the Contemporary Youth Orchestra punch hole promo on it. There's a couple new tracks on here, but yeah, mainly this is an album of, it's called One With Everything, recorded May 15, 2006. Here's another one that I need to review. I need to review this one. I got to put this in the review pile too. Please and thank you. That's right. It was to 1,000. I'm not going to hold my breath, but you know, 900 is doable. I'd like 900. Expanded edition of Badfinger's Wish You Were Here. One of the best damn Badfinger albums to come out. God, what a tragedy this band is. They made some great music. This is one piece of evidence right there. I do love this album. And I did end up picking it up, of course, on Real Gone. That's what it is. With the extra bonus track, Queen of Darkness. So this got to get reviewed. And I also got Badfinger's Bad, which also was originally to be titled For the Love of Money. That was what it was originally supposed to be. Let's see. How about some more hair metal? Here's one you don't hear too much of. Circus of Power. Circus of Power on Columbia. Yeah. The Electric Boys. Funk a Metal Carpet Ride. On Atco. Funk a Metal Carpet Ride. Like button. I'm still trying to find out where the heck the Any key is. Here's one you don't see that much. Led to believe that this originally was a fan club release. Not sure how true that is. Motley Crue's Quaternary, which basically is an EP. This was what was released after the Motley Crue album from '94, with John Corabi still with the band. So Quaternary, not that many of them came out. It was a 5-tune EP. And I love it though. It says your definition of quaternary is an adjective consisting of four arranged in groups of four. Quaternary of the most recent period of geological time. The number four, a group of four, the quaternary period or system of rock. So this one here was on Elektra/Motley Records. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I'll show you these last two that I found. Going back to kind of like Elvis, but more of a tribute album, finding a copy of Ronnie McDowell's The King Is Gone, but signed. That's always nice. Now, this one here, of course, you've got The King Is Gone, which is just Ronnie McDowell, and then a tribute to the King, which is Ronnie McDowell and the Jordanaires. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know when it came out exactly, but very nice to have it signed. And then lastly, I almost missed this, but one of Steve Howe's solo albums, The Grand Scheme of Things. That's right, The Grand Scheme of Things on Relativity Records. So I have lots of stuff that I need to listen to. That is for sure. Imagine if the Monkees played with Mott. Oh my God. Yeah. One of Monkey mashups, if you will, is there's this, I don't know who did this years ago, but I kept it on my phone. So the Monkees are in Commissioner Gordon's office on the Batman TV show, and there's Batman and Robin, and Commissioner Gordon right on the one side, then all the four of the Monkees are on the other side across from the desk. And I'm like, I would have loved that. That would have made a great 2-part episode where Batman's got to go. Yeah, the Monkees come to play Gotham City, and then somehow something goes wrong. He's help assist Robin. That would be funny. That would have made a great season 4 Batman crossover episode. Actually, I didn't know he did one. I feel pretty ignorant on that. I did not know that he did one. Batman is tasked to find a cure for the monkey. Oh no. Holy vaccines, Batman. Well, if you could have Paul Revere and the Raiders, Leslie Gore, and Chad and Jeremy be on the Batman show, you could have the Monkees. I still say season 4 would have been interesting. So let's say you got the Monkees do a 2-episode crossover. So you got, they're on Batman for one, because Batman would have moved to NBC for season 4. Okay, so 68, 69. And Monkees would have been on the same network. That's how you would have been able to do it. So 2-episode crossover, one on each show. You would have had Clint Eastwood as Two-Face. Oh my God, that would have been awesome. Either Tina Louise or just Poison Ivy. Seriously, that was Tina Louise and Raquel Welch were both rumored that if there was a season 4, it was going to be one of those two. Would have been Ivy. I would have been like, oh, imagine all the prepubescent and teenage boys going, and then let's see, who was it? So Two-Face, Poison Ivy. I think they were even talking about either Hugo Strange or Roz would have shown up also. And then you would have had your regular villains that you're used to. Although I still keep joking around that they needed to do an episode with Palindrome, which maybe could have been Riddler in disguise or Riddler's cousin or some shit. Palindrome, he only could speak in words that are the same forwards and backwards. I think it would have worked. No, they actually had a third, and That was the one that Batgirl. Sorry, that was the Famik off. And it wasn't just because Batgirl was in it. The writing wasn't as good. And of course, there was contract disputes. So that's how you ended up getting John. Well, I can't remember if John Aston is the Riddler or in Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. It was one of those two had to do with contracts. The other one was because they were in a movie and couldn't do it. So that's how you ended up with a season 3, slightly different villains. I still kind of kick myself in the. I met Burt Ward. He was an ass. He really was. I wish I had nice things. Nope, he was an ass. And then I should have went and met Frank Gorshin. Like Frank Gorshin's last public appearance was in Northwest Illinois. He showed up at a Comic-Con in St. Charles, Illinois. I should have went, damn it. Oh my God. Well, wait a minute though. Wasn't he one of the villains? Wasn't he the villain in the Batman Green Hornet crossover? He was in that, wasn't he? I think, unless I'm getting my people mixed up. I could have sworn he already was a villain for that. Got an Elvis double hits album and Aloha Hawaii on vinyls, everything Elvis track recorded on cassette for 18 tapes way back when. Wow, that's crazy. I could be wrong on this, Mike. It's just, well, I love them too. It's just, it's hard to remember all this stuff. There's so many shows I love watching that I've got either complete box sets or I've got starts of box sets, like with the WKRP, but I want complete KRP. I've got the complete Batman. I've got the 95% complete Three Stooges box. I have all kinds of different things. I have some Star Trek. I only got season 3 because of Shani Annie. She gave me that. I need to get the other 2 seasons. That's one show that, thank God, that networks back then could listen to fans. Okay, but in the case of Batman, it was because the sets were destroyed. If NBC would have called 2 to 3 days sooner, they would have been back on air 68, 69 on NBC because the sets still would have been around. But when they found out the sets were destroyed, that was why they did not. I think my favorite part of stars that drop in. But right. Oh, the window stuff is crazy. It's people you normally wouldn't see. It's like, what the hell? Jerry Lewis and Santa Claus and didn't Sammy Davis Jr. I'm like, what the hell? Why are they? Just keep going up. Be good, citizen. I saw the Batgirl pilot. It's on YouTube, by the way. Sucks. Although it is nice to see Batman and Robin show up for a couple minutes. The villain is Killer Moth. In case none of you've seen it, it's on YouTube. Just look up 1960s Batgirl pilot and you'll find it. It's only like 20 minutes, something minutes long. I don't like it. I just, whatever. I understand they wanted to boost ratings and things, but at least they didn't bring Batmite. Oh, fuck. Batmite and Bathound. There you go. There would have been a fucked up episode. Superman could have guest starred. Superman, why are you here? I'm after that Mixelpick bastard. You got Mixelpick. We got Batmite. Oh, that would have been a horrible season 4 episode. Horrible. For Star Trek, the fans saved the show for a 3rd season. That's right. And back then, I too would have done that. Ah, good. My mind is still. Oh, good, 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 good. You know what? And um, I watched the Green Hornet episodes, but it was back in the '90s when they had FX, the cable channel FX, satellite channel. I don't know what you want to call it, but they would show Batman and Green Hornet on FX. So that's how I got to see in the '90s the Green Hornet show, because I don't recall, except for that crossover, I do not recall ever seeing him in the '70s and the '80s. And you know what? That wasn't a bad show. Green Hornet wasn't a bad show. Could have been a little better, but you get to see Bruce Lee. And I've got the album with Al Hurt. Al Hurt and Green Hornets next to him. Took me years to find it. You know, jeez. Oh, no kidding, huh? I'll have to maybe look for that if it's on YouTube. I've watched some very strange mid 60s stuff. What was it? The Standells on the Munsters was one. The Enemies with Corey Wells, pre Three Dog Night on the Beverly Hillbillies. Wasn't there somebody on Gilligan's Island? I could have sworn there was like some band or something. Oh, and of course we can't forget the Beau Brummel Stones. The Beau Brummel Stones. I like that song too. And there's some version of the Standells still going with, I think, original member. Felix Cavalier and Gene Cornish from the Rascals. I am told they are going to be doing a tour together. And of course, rest in peace, Eddie. Yeah, that's it. Standells on the Munsters. That's right. So, I mean, there was some cool stuff in the 60s. The hell was it? Somebody was on Mannix. I cannot remember who. Was it Peppermint Rainbow? Peppermint Trolley. One of them, I want to say, one of them was on Mannix. That I thought was amusing, in the recording studio. Bronson Aria was a Red Sox pitcher years ago. He recorded an album of covers, oh God, right after the Sox won this. Well, I guess that makes sense, don't it? Speaking of an album of covers, in the spring, by the spring 20, Black Oak, Arkansas is doing a new album, and it's coming out. I guess it's going to be called Under the Covers or something. It's going to be all covers. The lineup on that LP is kind of questionable, though. I mean, Jim Dandy's going to be all over it. I think Ricky Lee is on at least a track or two. Johnny Corville, who would play drums on and off since the 80s, is on there somewhere too. I don't know. I don't know if, speaking of this, I don't know if anybody heard this, but I learned this shortly before broadcast today that Neil Doughty, the keyboardist from REO Speedwagon, has retired from touring. He was the last original member of REO. So now technically, we do not know who the keyboard replacement is for REO if they are going back out on the road in 23. But what I'm saying is now you technically have sort of a tribute band. You really do, because you got Cronin, of course, who, you know, did that one album in 72, then came back in 76 for the rest. And Bruce Hall, who has been the bass player since 77, late 7. Can it be REO without well, not really, but I mean, Neil hasn't quit the band. It's just he has retired from touring. So if REO, ha ha ha, does a new studio album, he'll probably show up, kind of like a Chuck Panazzo stick situation, because Chuck only shows up about 1 to 2 tracks for a new album, but that's Chuck's discretion, is what I'm told. Yeah, I did not know Susie Quattro put a new album out, even if it is covers. I may have to check that out, Walrus. Oh boy. You know, I'll tell you, this has been actually a really good show. Sorry nobody wanted to pop on up, but that's okay. All right, that's okay. I think we're going to wind this up here in a minute or two. I think, anyway. But, you know, like I said, with 2023, hopefully it'll be kind to everyone. Okay. Lots of things coming up. Maybe in the first quarter. I'm hoping to lose this so I can get this total knee replacement. Well, I gotcha, because that would be alphabetical. I want to have a hit of fresh air. See what I did there? But Sue, she's still cool. What is it I heard? Bree Darling, the drummer of Fanny, is out of commission for a little while because she's in the hospital. Last year, she did an album with Sherry Curry from the Runaways, you know, Cherry Bomb. So she's hospitalized, but she'll get out. Unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit, because Fanny's supposed to do some concerts in February and May, I read. Yeah, Fanny. There's a name you probably haven't heard for quite a while. They were actually pretty cool all-girl, half Filipino band. Yeah. Next month's 10th anniversary of my potential fatal law. Good God, 10 years. You know, that really scares me, that kind of stuff. I've been in a couple auto accidents, but nothing brutal. Hopefully not for this year or any year. I want to die in my sleep. Very rare people die in their sleep, but I'm asking. But yeah, so lots of things for 2023. Which I ended up contacting, like I said, about Nectar. We talked about him earlier. We're trying to get Nectar back. Nectar is back out on the road in March and April. If you're in New York, Massachusetts, or Illinois, they will be performing there. Go buy a ticket. You will not be disappointed. Shit. Damn. See that? Oh God, I hate texting. I don't text while I drive. Okay, I just don't. Now, saying that, if I'm stopped at a red light and it's a sentence or less, I'll fire off something and put the phone back down. But I do not text and drive. You know, I don't even answering phone calls while I'm driving. What I'll do is I'll put them on speaker. That's what I'll do. But I have to, yeah, no shit, Mike. Jeez. Well, we're glad you're still here. Glad you're still here. But 10 years ago, damn. But yeah, I mean, so we'll see what 23 looks like for everybody. Um, it's been a crazy couple of years, I think, for all of us here around the world, especially here in the United States. It's they always say that it gets worse before it gets better. But we got limitations here, guys. We got limitations. Some of us are no spring chickens. Later in the year here, I'll be 56. And I'm just like, ugh. I'm going to retire when I'm 62. I kind of decided that. I'm going to be a stay-at-home grandpa, or maybe I'll work part-time at the record store like I want to. That's what I'm going to do when I get to that magic age. I think I got to do something right for myself. Walmart's crippled me. They really did. After almost running over a couple of mailboxes, I try not to be distracted. Oh, shit. Yeah. That running the mailboxes. The only time I almost ran over a mailbox, mid-'80s, I had a Chevy Impala, a gunboat, old school 71 Impala, and I hydroplaned. I don't even know where I didn't see no damn water. I'm not even speeding. I'm doing regular speed. Hydroplane, almost took out the mailbox, almost ended up in the ditch. And thank God nobody was coming from the other way. That scared the shit out of me, though. I'll tell you that. Only twice have I ever done that in my life. It's like, jeez. Yeah? What is it? Is it 65? Low rider. I bet you that was a sweet car, too. Very sweet car. Oh, all right, Mike. I get it. I don't think I'm going to make it that far. I'm not going to make it to that. I don't know if I want to make it to that, to be honest with you. My kids are all grown, 25 to 34. Okay. My grandkids, sure, I've got, I've got, what is it? One baby, one under one. It'll be, in March, it'll be 2. Because, Thomas. Oh, geez. Thomas might just turn 1 when the new one comes. But I'm like, everybody's getting older. I don't know if I can, I don't know how much more I can really provide, to the kids and the grandkids. The kids know how I am. They've known all their lives, The grand think I'm funny. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. When I was, I didn't do drugs growing up. Okay. I started drinking at 17, though. I did, because my dad went off. He said, he goes, you can have some, but you got to be here in the house. You can't be, I'm not going to, that's the catch. So I had a beer or two during my meal or after my meal, at 17. I already was graduated from high school. I'm just like, shit, why not? But I'm like, whatever, there's very few times I really went blotto. Okay. By the time I was 21, so what? It wasn't a big thing for me. I already had booze. Like I said, I didn't do drugs. I had friends that did drugs. I was in rooms where there was drugs, so maybe I had contact high. I had no desire to do it, though. I don't have an addictive personality, it looks like. At least my brain doesn't have it. So if I was going to die in my 20s, it just would have been out of simple stupidity more than anything else. Yeah, see, I from 17 to about by my late 30s. I think by like 40 I stopped drinking heavily. Yeah, see, there you go. And I never smoked. I mean, I had half a cigarette over 35 years ago and didn't understand what the hell I was supposed to get out of it. So I never did it again. And I'm glad I didn't. Save a shit ton of money too in black lung, whatever crap. I know people right now that have COPD because of that, or lung cancer, or whatever. And I'm just glad I never had that stuff. That's all there is to it. We gotta, you see, there you go. That's what I did though, and that's the truth. If I wasted any money, it was buying music. I didn't go to too many concerts. I mean, in the late 80s, I did go to some. And then like in the late 90s, I started going again. But I mean, it was either music or occasionally going out to eat. Didn't do that much of it either. Somebody has to steal their noses and teach them how to make pipes out of twigs and acorns and how to fly kites. Oh, yeah, I know I do steal their noses. And I don't know how, I never did the twig acorn pipe bit, but flying the kite, you might be right. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was, oh boy. You know what? I love you guys. I love it when I can do these shows, okay? And it looks like overall my experiment was pretty good. It hiccuped 2-3 times shortly, but not as much as previously. So we're gonna keep doing this way. I guess I'm just in the chair though, because I have the urge to occasionally stand up, and we may have to do that from time to time too. But once again, I want to thank everybody out there today. It's okay, nobody came on, but I'm hoping, there are some people that have messaged me privately that said that they want to come on, but they're just a little nervous. You know what? Everybody's got it somewhere. Okay. I'm trying to remember. It was either Rachel's show or Mayo's show is one of the first live streams I ever was on. Okay. And then what was it? Then after that, I had this discussion with somebody yesterday on this actually. Then we ended up having, I don't know, I can't remember the nickname that we called it, but it was Richard the Music Maniac, Groovy Lisa, Mason, and me. That was for a good couple months, actually, was us four. And then I kind of miss what I call the VC Fab Four, which I know you're like going, the VC Fab Four. Well, yes, that would have been the handful of times when Doc Dacus, Jeff Kendall, Thrifty Tim, and me, we were the VC Fab Four. And once in a blue moon, if somebody couldn't make it, Tim Allen or Beans. Okay, so I miss Beans, damn it. Anyways, so yeah, you know what? Thank you, and thank you. It's okay. Yeah. No, you don't do that while you're driving. Once in a while, if I'm parked waiting for my kid to take him to work, once in a while I'll do StreamYard through the phone, but I don't do it that much. But it is what it is. All right, everybody. We're gonna wrap this up here. I want to thank everybody for being up here. We had almost 20 people in one sitting. I don't know if there's somebody else doing a broadcast right now. I know it's Wednesday, so I'm not really good with who else would be on. But yeah, I love doing these. I do. I'll try maybe to do one again this week. Probably if I'm going to do it, it'll be Sunday, because Monday, unfortunately, I have dental stuff and I ain't going to be in the mood to talk to anybody. All right. Everybody have a nice night. Take care. God bless. Ron. And here's to a more happier and kind 2023 for everyone here in the VC and around the world. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, always powered by coffee each and every time, because that's how Psycho rolls. Bye, guys.